Stay, motherfucker.
Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Pat Stay, what's good?
Everything good, man?
Yeah, let me get a little volume situation.
Good. What, you drinking a coffee?
I had to, I have to treat you like a real professional interviewer, bro. Get the coffee going, shit.
I appreciate it, man. How you been? Everything great?
Yeah, bro. I'm over here, like, on the iPad. I set up the iPad on a tripod. I'm not even doing this shit from the phone, bro.
Man, I feel important. I feel like I must be doing my thing.
I gotta say, I appreciate you tapping into all the Asian motherfuckers in battle rap. Like you knew it was Asian Pacific Heritage Month or some shit. Like, you knew that shit was coming.
Yeah, Tantrum's coming next.
That's love, bro.
Yeah, man. Congratulations on everything, man. I seen the TED Talk thing, and I was thinking to myself, like, yo, that must have been, like, nerve-wracking, was it?
Fuck yeah, bro. Like, I think all of us feel comfortable, like, in public performance and shit. Obviously, we mix all types of shit, all types of forms of, like, public performance, whether it's, like, stand-up to theater to rap in what we do in battle rap. And that's why I wanted to mention that heavily even in the TED Talk, because I feel like, in what we do is so underappreciated in different areas, especially even specifically in hip hop too. Like, we're part of that culture, but people don't talk about it enough, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to kind of pay homage to, like, what it did for me in particular, like, in all elements of, like, my identity, you know what I'm saying? But that shit was nerve-wracking, bro, because I don't know what it was. I think I looked at TED Talk, like, I put it on a pedestal a little bit, because, we watch those things and we get motivated and inspired, and, like, I was like, I don't want to sound stupid, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Dude, I gotta say, man, it was so well written, like like a real, like, story. Like, there was, like, okay, like, the beginning, hit it with the freestyle, and hitting it with jokes more and more, and then I forget the point, like, towards the end, the punchline part, and, like, it was written like a real story. Like, you could tell that you write music or write songs, or you even, like, produce type of shit. It was really well done. So
thanks, bro. I appreciate that. And really, it was really applying kind of what we do in battle rap too, like having punchlines. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we want reactions with whatever we kind of present. When you do comedy or whatever, you want a reaction. I think the part that was nerve-wracking is knowing that when you do a TED Talk like this, like, you shouldn't always expect a reaction. Like, you just need to get through your points, and there doesn't need to be a giggle or, like, whatever. And I think that part was terrifying for me, because that's how we continue on with our shit, right? Like, we do our bits or whatever, and I think you've done a really good job at this, actually, where even when you do a punchline or spit a punchline, it may not hit. You know how to handle that shit really well. I noticed that. You almost turned it into a bit in itself. Like, oh, y'all didn't fuck with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that shit terrifies me, when there's no reaction. Like, it's the worst terrifying shit.
that's how people choke. I always tell people, if they're new, I always say, for your first battle, don't plan a reaction in your head, because if it doesn't happen, you're going to be like, oh shit, especially if it's a joke and no one laughs. That really hurts the confidence. And people choke often, or they just get, like, the rest of their performance is really stumbly because of it, man. Yeah, it's because some people plan it in their heads. Like, not only do they plan, like, oh, this is going to hit, they'll perform it. Like, I've seen people like going over their shit. They're like, they'll say it and they'll be like, oh, like, they do it with their hands. like G.I. Joe's, like, that's gonna be the exploding line. I'm like, dude, don't.
It is funny to think that, like, sometimes we'll look at, like, punchlines. We'll be like, okay, I'm gonna stop here, and there's gonna be a reaction, and then we're gonna give it a few seconds, and then I'm gonna come back with this. And then when you're actually in the battle, it throws you the way to fuck off when that shit don't go down. So it's funny.
Imagine right there, like, okay, well, I got a minute round. This punchline is going to give me 20-second crowd reaction, standing ovation, take me out of the building on a horse, and fucking, like, praise me for an hour, and then bring me back in. Right. It's too fucking funny, man. One thing I needed to ask you, Well, I'll ask you a few, but one thing that immediately I wanted to know, what were your terrible rap names before Dumbfoundead? I need to know.
You know, I'm being in LA. It's like, you know, every Asian motherfucker gets nicknamed Chino with all the Latinos and shit. So obviously, it's like I get the nickname Chino and think I have this fucking special nickname, and then I go down the block and another Asian dude is nicknamed Chino. So I'm like, fuck. Like, I thought that was an exclusive nickname I got. And then you find out there's a Chino XL in hip hop, and you're like, oh, fuck, like, I can't even go with this. So, you know, I'm thinking of all this. I remember I used to, you know, we all growing up did a little graffiti and shit, and I had, like, the worst graffiti fucking names. Like, I was trying to find one that I could resonate with, and every time I thought of a cool one, there was already that existing on the streets. You know, you see it and you're like, you're fucking, and you're ruined because that shit is better than yours. I think I had a nickname, one of my nicknames was Drub, D-R-U-B, Drub.
What was it?
We were just looking up, like, through the dictionary, like, some cool words and shit, and it was like, to beat something severely or some
Oh, I thought it would at least be like an acronym for like.
No, it wasn't.
Rapper,
that
underground.
The word sounds like a blob of a word, drub, but like it's just shitty. Yeah.
You know what mine was? I never told this to anyone before.
What was it?
Oh, it was bad. Pat the Mastermind.
Oh my god. Motherfuckers love putting like master or professor in nicknames.
Pat the Mastermind. And you also said you went to the first battle, Project Load. I love that whole story, man. I honestly felt like I was a part. You said it so well, dude, that I felt like I was a part of it. I felt like I was there. Like, I think, anyways, I just wanted to say that. But you lost your first battle to someone who fucking destroyed you. Do you remember who that was?
I don't know if I remember the specific dude, but I just remember the scenario because I went there and I just, you know, I was ready to just go in and rap and freestyle and shit, and that was a real instant change that like really got in me. You know, I stepped in there and I already was hearing everyone rap, and I was fucking nervous already. Like, I was like, damn, these motherfuckers could freestyle their ass off. And then I remember also not seeing any other Asian dude except Lil Flip. Like, Lil Flip was the only other Filipino dude, and every other Asian there was just filming. Like, they were just there to like get footage. Like, every other Asian motherfucker was like the homie who films for them, like the like the rapper homies, like visual team and shit. But I just remember I stepped in and just like started freestyling, and there was instantly somebody who said some Asian shit, you know, that got me like pissed, and so I'm starting to battle him, and then he killed me. Like, he killed me instantly. Yeah.
I don't want to say that, like, you know, it's your first battle, because I seen the part you were talking about in the lunchroom. I don't know if this was the same interview. Yeah, it was. Sorry. And the Lucy Lou, then you said something about my shoe without you, whatever, and you explained like the reaction and the feeling you got from knew you were a battle rapper then. It gave you an identity. Dude, that resonates so much with me. It's like, and all of us, like, what is that feeling? What is it like? You say something and then like, boom, everyone's reacting. It's such a high that like, I don't understand how people don't want that. Like, you ever like, you know, some people don't want to be stars. There's like writers out there that are like, yeah, you know, they wrote like the biggest songs in the entire world, but nope, they're just Mike. They don't want any type of recognition. You know, I feel like you would think everyone wants that reaction. That, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's the shit. I mean, I think that was the thing. Like, we are attention whores in that way a little bit, and like, and it's also like when you're young, and you know, a lot of us come from like where we didn't have a lot of any kind of good attention, whether it's like your parents like shitting on you or your friends shitting on you. Like, when you have that one moment, it's like it's worth so much. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was worth a lot for me. And it's like, I think the same feeling any other person feels like if you're a comedian or whatnot, you know, first time getting that reaction and laughter. It's like, you know, this world is like, it's a lonely world where you feel like no one's listening to you. You know what I'm saying? When you get a reaction like that, you know motherfuckers are listening to you, you know, and that's the truth. It's like, everything people do right now on social media, whatever, is trying to get somebody to fucking listen to you. You know what I'm saying? And when you find that one thing, and I hope everyone finds something, you know what I'm saying? And that's that thing that I think made us really, like, we found a thing that motherfuckers know that we're good at and will listen to us for, you know? So, yeah.
No, true. We are all attention whores. Even the people that think we may not be. I don't know about you, but I am fucking just as much as fucking Jessica with the pink fucking, you know, thong on right now on Instagram too, because, you know, I'll catch myself fucking having a down day, and what do? I'll upload some achievements I did or some shit that I've already posted 3 times, just looking for like the GOAT. You're the man. You're great. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, it's constant reminders. You know what I mean? It totally makes sense, man.
Nah, man, it's a weird thing, bro. Like, I feel like this whole quarantine shit is definitely putting a lot of shit in perspective, and also kind of helping me kind of handle like how to be alone a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about now a relationship. I've never been like, oh, super always wiped up in like a girlfriend boyfriend thing. But I'm talking about even just a social thing. I'm a very social person. You know, I go out, go to bars, and I'm like talking my ass off, life of the party type shit. But just being alone and learning how, you know, especially in entertainment particularly, because with all these stars and shit, like, you're not the center of attention no more either, right? In this current climate. Like, you're not that important. Like, the biggest star, the movie out, the talk show guy, you're not important right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I think motherfuckers have to, like, really kind of know how we're adjusting to that situation where it's not about you and you're not going to be the center of attention. There's so much shit out there too. Like, everyone's trying to pump out shit and be the center of attention. Like, you're not that important. Whether newest battles or live streams, all this, you know, we're doing it and we're having conversations, but you gotta understand, like, there's way more important shit to so much people right now. You know, it's like,
I found it interesting. You said, well, not you said, you know, you're dealing with like being alone, but you never needed like relationship type shit, just people. You know, almost every rapper I've met needed to be in a relationship or needed a girl at some point. I'm one of them. I won't even lie to you, dude. Like,
yeah,
when I'm not in a relationship, you know what I'm doing? I'm going and getting fucked up and like just bringing home random girls and just always need someone around. So
no, that's a good point though. It is a self-sabotaging thing. I think for me, it's a lot of the keeping busy. Like, if I'm not busy, like if I don't get like a gig where I have to film something for like 2 months straight or work on an album, like, I do get real self-sabotaging with like drugs, alcohol, and all that shit. Like, free time is very self-sabotaging for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have too much free time, I go in a fucking dark hole of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when I get busy and I know I have this project I have to do, like, I do get obsessed with it like it's a drug, and then I keep busy with it. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of wish I was always able to balance drugs and alcohol with my work shit. You know how like rappers get fucked up and go into the studio and record a whole album? I've never been able to do that. Like, when I get fucked up, it's like a leisurely thing where I'm social and I'm getting fucked up at a party. Like, yeah. I've never been able to get fucked up and work on a project. Like, yeah. I almost wish I could, because then it would save me a lot of time. But
you know, it's funny, fucking the last, like, I don't know however long I've been here, I've been doing these interviews. And other than last night, I've drank every single night. And for me to justify it, I've been like, dude, I'm interviewing everyone. I don't even like to call it interviews, is whatever, but I got Shaq, Method Man, all like these stars. I'm like, last night was Spice One, Trey D, one of the night before, BG Knockout, all my favorite West Coast legends and shit. But so I justify it like, man, I'm drinking. It just makes me a little more loose and fun and blah, 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 blah. And I'm getting a lot done. And then I just said this an hour ago on my live, but my hand went to sleep in a weird way. I couldn't feel my hand anymore. I don't know if it was related at all. My fingers got real tingly. It started going up my arm, my leg a little bit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? It happened for hours and hours. Even the next day, even right now, my finger's a little tingly, but I looked it up and it was like, you know, diabetes, this and that, or excessive alcohol shit. So I was like, man, I had to think, yo, I've been drinking every single day starting at like 6 o'clock for like 8 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's intense.
So yeah, it can be a dangerous thing, like you're saying, if you're able to cope. Coping drug addicts, they're the most dangerous people. Like, yeah, man, here for the job. Just happen to be on a bunch of
true.
heroin.
It's true.
6 fucking hits of ecstasy right now. Been on coke for 3 days straight, but now let's do this. You know what I mean? It's like it can be dangerous.
Yeah. My homie is like that. He's just, we would never know it. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll have cold sweats and withdrawals, and the next day he'll go to a fucking meeting and shit, like ready to present a deck and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that is dangerous. It's true. And I think that part I haven't had. It's like, I just know when I do it, like I'm pretty fucked for the next day and shit. You know what I'm saying? And the functional drug addict is the most dangerous part for sure.
And I'm done for like 2-3 days now, bro. Like, I've been getting drunk, but not trash. But like when, party, I don't know, man. The older I get, dude, like I can't even imagine going on like a bender now. The anxiety would just fucking kill me. You know what I mean?
No, that's real. I mean, I think a lot of motherfuckers don't realize that, especially in LA, because we get old and then there's still like young girls, like models and shit. Like we'll go to parties and like we'll party with them and thinking hanging and shit, and they're just like, "What? Don't be a bitch." And I'm just like, why am I letting a 23-year-old girl peer pressure me into getting fucked up right now? I'm like, this is pathetic. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Speaking of which, bro, like, I know I'm so proud that you became a successful musician and whatnot, because that's what we all should be doing one way, whether it's music or something else, using their platform, battle rap. I always wondered, man, and I don't know if this is a personal question either, but touring, is that fucking like super unhealthy? I always picture it. If I'm touring for 6 months, I'm going to be the most unhealthy piece of shit when I get home.
Touring is definitely, I will say for me personally, I do get really fucked up. Like I have people on tour, but I'm like a very responsible, wild guy on tour, because my tours, I'm very independent. Like my tours aren't glamorous, you know what I'm saying? So I have to be on point with like my small team of motherfuckers that like, whether it's the tour manager, the merch guy, the videographer, and a lot of these guys are very young, especially because I'm budgeting. So like I got to get like a lot of the cats who are coming up and trying to just do it for the love and for small amounts of money. So when we're on tour, like I kind of have to be the responsible one. And as soon as I show a little bit of like irresponsibility on my part, that gets everybody loose. They're like, we're just gonna party, and then we start missing dates and shit. So I do keep it really balanced. There's a level of like turning up, but we got to make sure we get up and fucking make it to the next city and all that type of shit. So I do try to lead by example a little bit, but it is unhealthy, man. I will say that shit is not. We drink like every night, you know what I'm saying? So,
man, as long as you're a responsible one, like you just said, you're good, then you're fine. See, I could just picture me being like, fuck it, like, yeah, let's get all fucked, and then like sleep with all the wrong people and just do all the wrong things, and you know what I mean? But
yeah, you gotta be on top of it. That's I realize how easy it is to wake up late and just miss the next city's tour date. Like it is so easy to do that, and like you gotta get on that shit, But it's fun, man. It's fun, and dude, I always talk. That's what my show is about. I'm developing a show right now. I'm working on a TV show, and there was like a recent announcement about it. But the show is about like life after rap. And the funny thing about that is like I'm 34 years old, and the fact that like you look at yourself as this old rapper at 34 is kind of funny, but that's kind of the world we're in because hip hop is such a youth-driven industry. Yeah, I think there's a comedy in that in the generation we live today because there's so many professions that we get to this age that's early 30s or late 30s, and that shouldn't be looked at as like we're old, right? But like there's so many industries that nowadays in our generation where that is old because everyone starts at like 15 and 16, and so it's just funny looking at myself and being like I'm a washed up rapper at 34. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot that comes with. There's so much shit because we're surrounded and we're pumped in it. We're pumped with all this media with all these young shit that's going on. And America idolizes youth, bro. We fucking idolize that shit. Old people bow down to young people in this country. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's funny, like labels and shit like that. And we see we criticize all these young people, but really it's the older people that exploit the youth, and we encourage that behavior. You know what I'm saying? So.
True. And we're trying to be younger by the day. They're trying to be older. You know what I mean? We're young. We're like, man, let me line up this little bit of facial hair. And when we get older, like, man, let me dye this. Let me patch this up. Let me try to look like these fucking.
That's real, man. You know, and it's because we don't like look at getting older, and we don't praise getting older a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's why everyone's trying to patch shit up. You know, and I've dealt with those insecurities too. So like with all this kind of stuff that I'm writing comedically is really about all my own fears and insecurities, just putting it out on the forefront. You know, and yeah, and I think that's great. I think that's the one thing that you, me, or people in battle rap we do is really put a lot of these things right in the front. You know, like we don't care about it. We don't try to bend it in a funny, like, weird way and try to flex extra hard. And if we're flexing, the other opponent is going to call you out on that shit and put your shit in the forefront of things, you know? So we have to deal with a lot of shit very upfront. You know, we can't, like, maneuver around it.
Yeah. No, it's funny you say that, man. I'm going to be working on something where basically I put out all of my insecurities, all my little patch-ups, everything for the whole world to see. But it's so, so, so deep that I'm going to have to do it when battle rap's over. Like, I put it all out there now, but, like, this is going to be like, holy shit, man. Like, I would never guess, bro. Like, holy fuck. And, like, and that's not so deep. Like, oh, when I was whatever. But it's so, like, it's going to be cool.
That's a good question. That's an interesting thing, though. Are you saying that because you feel like it can be used against you in battle rap?
Yes. I'm just being honest. Like, for me, like, I put almost everything out there anyways, but it'd be more so just like, you know, not like I don't want to put it all out there yet because it's a big project I'm working on with the government, and they're going to fund it all. It's really getting like a big art thing. But yeah, I'm not going to be like, okay, guys, like, I'm a woman. You know what I mean? I'm not going to. It's not fucking shit like that. It's going to be quite ridiculous. But you know, sometimes it could work in your favor in battle rap. Who knows? Yeah,
no, I've always, you know, battling is, I think that's the one thing we always have. We have, obviously, a lot of battle rappers go off into doing different things, but it's very interesting craft when it's the thing you start from and you have that attachment to it. And I always felt like everything that I do has started from battle rap, everything, you know, and I kind of love that it did, because it's such a unique roots story. Like, not everybody's roots start from this particular subculture. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something you got to be proud of and own that it's a very unique origin story. That not everyone has that experience. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't be, like, ashamed of it. If anything, you should lean more into it. You know? So.
Do you still watch it? I know that's probably the most common question you get, but it's hard to watch battles now, especially because they're, you know, longer than the Titanic, and every like 3 hours, and there's like a whole new language now and stuff like that. You know,
it is, and I respect that, and I respect the evolution of it. Of like, goddamn, the language has gone so advanced. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. You know, sometimes I wish it was shorter. Sometimes I'm this, like, whatever. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, when did I turn into a battle purist, like golden era battle purist and shit? But it's dope. I think it's so tight when the language gets so crazy. Like, when you look at it from the outside perspective, you're like, damn, these motherfuckers are doing the most with the language of things. And I find that so tight and so interesting that you got to decrypt shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, how the fuck did it get to that point? And it's an amazing thing. And I do watch it once in a while. I think I watch mostly, like, a lot of the clips that battle rappers, like, reshare, like a 2-minute thing, and you see that shit, it's amazing. You know, like, I just watched that clip where, you know, fucking Hollow was, like, falling back on Loaded Lux and shit, you know? Like, that shit was amazing, bro. That shit was fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, I don't sit there, like, I'm not one of those, like, oh, these mumble rappers, like, you know, talking about, like, I don't even know what they're saying now in battle rap. For me, like, I always tried to make my shit universally accessible for a reason. Like, I want you to be able to line up 10 people that never seen battle rap in their life, play my shit, and be like, that was really fucking dope, or that was cool. I understand what he's saying for the most part. And just to broaden my fan base, not because I'm like, oh, you know, I don't like that shit. I just want to like appeal to, you know, girls and, you know, rock heads and other things. I shouldn't say girls, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, your typical whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes it's hard to read. It's hard to you know, decipher all that technique, all the new
Yeah,
shit.
I think everybody has a different style, and that's the amazing thing. Like, I guess for me, I didn't go too deep into the like the double entendres and stuff. Like, that's never been my thing, like my style personally. And I think it's because I've always approached battle rap of course there's an opponent in front of me, but I always have thought about like the people who are gonna watch the video after, you know, and like the mom who might hover over, like, what are you watching?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted to reach them too. And in my battle style, I think you're similar too. Like, we'll look at the opponent and be like, let's look at this dickhead, as opposed to like right in their face. You know what I'm saying? And that was always kind of like my style. And I always kind of, and you know, and there's nothing wrong with like people going into personal stuff and things like that. I always looked at it kind of more of a bigger audience, where I wanted them to just be able to pick up from like 8 minutes and 32 seconds and know exactly still what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need to rewind back or know this guy's history, you know? So anytime I battled somebody, I never did much research. I just wanted to kind of see them, see like a battle or two, and that's all I needed, you know? Like, I wanted, so.
Yeah, because the audience, like the new watchers might be like, what is he talking about? I'm not sure about this battle he's talking about. That, oh, in this battle you did this and this and this. He said this, and the people watching that are cameras are like, I have no idea. So you think like me, you know, for like the, you know, for the widespread. Also, man, you would do super dope still, because there's not that many people who joke.
Right.
You know, I went to URL and I'm just cleaning house. I'm just like, I'm up there just cleaning house, man. I'm beating everyone I battle now, and I had like, and just smoking them too, because, you know, and that's not just URL, you know, King of the Dots or wherever I go, RBE, I'm just smoking them because, you know, a lot of people, you know, around for a rap battle event that's like 8 hours, and for the most part it's, you know, I'll do this, and then I get up and I say some sarcastic shit, and it's just like, it's like a relief. It's like they get to laugh finally, because everyone loves to laugh.
And the truth is, though, a lot of battle rappers, they actually don't know how to roast. You know what I'm saying? This is the truth. If you go to any battle rap event and you're just hanging out with your homies and shit, like all the battle rappers, like, there's not many that actually know how to roast. Like, they're funny when you battle them, because when you put rhymes together, there's a rhythm and things hit more. You know what I'm saying? But if if you're just trying to joke with the homies, like, some of those rhymes don't hit the same way when you're roasting a motherfucker. Like, when I battled Diz, like, it's hilarious, you know? He's hitting me with all these jokes, and Dumbfoundead, a plug outlet, rhymes hella good, and that joke is funny. But Diz is funny because he's not a good roaster, like, in person, you know? But, like, he's funny as fuck in rhyme form. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. I was on here with Simon Rex the other day, and he said something that kind of correlates. He said, with, you know, to people not being funny in real life, he said he went to he once went to a school, like a class that taught you to be funny. He was in LA. And like, there's so many students there that are teaching you to be like funny, like improv. And I'm like, you can't be taught to be funny. You might be able to be like, learn from other people, but it's such a natural, like you're saying, to timing, rhythm. Like it's something that it's just kind of in. I don't really know anyone that's like, yeah, man, just go back to funny school. Want to hear a fucking joke?
Yeah. Nah, that's the thing. And the rhyming part is, you can learn the rhyming part. You know, you can learn the rhyming part. The content is always, and I thought battle rap, I think people always want to praise the rhyme part of battle rap, but actually it's the other shit that's the biggest thing. You know, it's the awareness of like the cultures of what you're making fun of and how funny it is. But the rhyme part could be impressive, but that's not the most important part when it comes to battle rap.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not many people agree with that. I agree. And a good example would be, for example, let's just say little shit-ass Mike from down the block gets a verse written by Conceited and Rum Nitty and all these great writers. Cool, man. He has a ghost-written wicked verse. The rhymes are great. He might not have any good delivery, cadence, timing, believability, anything. You know what I mean? Which are all the most important parts to me.
Timing for sure is important in battle rap. Timing is like fucking everything, really. You know, I always thought Loaded Lux had the weirdest fucking timing. Like, and that's why I fuck with him, because he puts shit in not the traditional, obviously, you know, patterns and shit. And he is the most intriguing, like, style-wise, that I think in history of battle rap. That motherfucker, yeah.
He's like a selfish writer. He's like, I don't care. This is gonna hit here. This is gonna hit here. I don't care if anyone likes it. Boom, 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 and it happens to be really, really good.
I've always respected a lot of dudes like, you know, Loaded Lux, Murder Mooks and stuff, because you gotta understand, like, when I was, and it's funny because a lot of your battle rap or hip hop OGs, even the old ones that you look at as OGs, aren't even that old, really. Like, you meet them and you're like, they're like 5 to 7 years older than you, you know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers started young as shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was watching those fools, like, on my computer in LA, like, when I was, like, you know, 8th or 9th grade, and then I meet them, and we become homies and shit, and I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers weren't even that much older than me. It's like porn stars or some shit, you know? You know what I'm saying? You're like a kid jerking off to these porn stars, and you meet the porn stars, and you're like, this bitch is my age.
So you've never jerked off to Loaded Lux and Murder Mook?
No, that's it. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about porn stars. Yeah.
No, man. You know, people like Loaded Lux are special, man. When I first met him, it was actually in Hollywood, and fucking, we were going in an elevator. He wasn't in there yet. There was like 4 or 5 people outside the elevator, and they started like partying and like looking at this person. I was like, who is coming? Like a king? And it happened to be like Loaded Lux with this like super energy. Like, what's up, handsome? I was like, this is why you're famous. You just have this aura, and you're like, not only are you super talented, but like certain people just have it. You know what I mean? They have it.
Yeah, no, for real. Like that, I mean, he's definitely OG in my book. Like cats like that, Murder Mook. Like I was just watching, man, I was watching their fucking videos before YouTube existed. Like, you know, just you had to pull up real-time player clips and shit of these motherfuckers. Like it was so that's the dope shit about all that, you know. And it's funny, I'm looking at this chat at the same time, and they're just completely on some complete other shit right now.
I never read the chat. What are they saying? Dumb so.
I don't know. It's always like Asian motherfuckers, like for me, like who think they're like could battle me or kill me in a roast or like talk about my hair. It's like, you know, dudes who think they're mad funny and shit. But shout out Tommy Kim 96. That's a very precise screen name. It's like my name's Tommy Kim and I was born in 1996.
Yeah, shout out. I feel like Pat Stay could definitely be in bigger movies. Okay, well that's a nice one. I appreciate that. You know. Marilyn Manson's pretty hot. Nice.
No, it's about the chat, Pat. You gotta interact with the chat. Motherfuckers love the interactiveness of it. You know?
Yeah. Someone said you get that Asian glow. Dumb is spreading in those spaces and killing.
I definitely look like the Hawaiian punch dude right now, dude.
I think it's dope as fuck, man.
It's the quarantine hair, bro. Fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know what the dope thing is about battle rap is like, just say after your movie that you're creating, and maybe when you're getting a little bit tired of, if you do recording music, battle rap doesn't have an age thing. Like when you think of all the GOATs, they're all like almost 40 and getting paid good money.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, that honestly, I always want to do another battle. Like that's one of the most natural things. Like I'm learning new things right now as far as like going into film, right? Like TV and film and writing and acting. Like I'm learning. I'm fresh in that. But battle rap is the one thing that I just like I feel comfortable. Like tomorrow I could spend all day writing fucking battle raps. Like I'm still very comfortable with that part. The one thing that bugs me is like, damn, I do spend a lot of time. Like when I prepare for a battle, like I really do be in it. Like I go to a cafe and I'm like writing battle raps in the fucking corner of the cafe for like fucking 9 hours or some shit, you know? And it's just in my fucking brain. I go crazy, obsessed with it. And it does take a lot of time. I think people don't realize it really does take a lot of time. It's not like you take on a battle and it's like, it's simple because you just have 3 rounds you got to prepare for. No, there's a lot of editing and you write like 3 times the amount of what the rounds are and all this shit. So I know it takes a lot of work and dude, you're putting a lot on the line, you know, like I don't like getting made fun of and getting killed. Like, no one fucking likes that.
No one does, yeah.
I think what people don't realize, and that's why I really love battle rappers because, and I think where all the credit is due is like, this is real front line of hip hop shit. You know, you really put yourself out there to get made fun of or roasted or destroyed, and not a lot of people are willing to put themselves up for that. You know, it's like getting heckled, but you give the heckler the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're getting heckled on stand-up comedy, but you give the heckler the mic and you give him a 5-minute round, you know?
People don't get it. People don't really get it, man. Like, it's not just, you know, writing those rounds. It's like, dude, okay, you write this shit, and you get on stage, and you're like, oh, shit. Do I know my shit off by heart? Oh, shit, there's thousands of people. Oh, shit. This is going to be on film for the rest of my, oh, my God, this is on pay-per-view. Oh, I don't have no idea what this guy's going to say. This guy could be saying the craziest shit ever. I cannot back out of this right now. Oh, fuck. Let's just hope I kill it. And it's, you know, you just see the whole crowd like, everyone standing up. They're like, yeah, we want to. It's kind of vicious, depending on who you are. You know, people like me or you, like, people know we're friendly people, so it's not as.
I honestly, I give like just so much credit to a lot of the battle rappers. Like, you gotta understand, man. I come in so humbly with the battle rap shit. Like, of course, I grew up battle rapping since I was young, and then I did a lot of these battles. Like, you know, but really, if you look at my shit, I only did about like 9 battles. You know what I'm saying? That were like, you know, obviously they got a lot of attention and a lot of views, but I haven't done like 40 fucking battles like you did, or how many of the fuck you did, and all these other cats who did tons of battles, you know. But the one thing I always wanted to do was I always wanted to choose very particular battles. Like, that's why a lot of my battles, every one of them is like the Asian guy, the Latino dude, the fat dude, the old dude. Like, I wanted to use all those individual jokes on the one individual person, you know what I'm saying? And like, Diz was the last one, and like Conceited was like the short one, and like Disaster was like, I'm gonna use all my Middle Eastern jokes here, you know. It was a way for me to kind of compartmentalize like all the jokes and shit and organize it. And man, Diz was so fucking ready for it. We were working on that movie Bodied, and there's a scene where I'm flipping it, and I'm using all these like Asian jokes against this actress Shaniqua in the movie, and I was like, I needed help with the Asian jokes, you know. I couldn't think. I've already battled Tantrum, and I had all these Asian jokes that I had used. So I hit up Diz. I'm like, yo, you got any Asian jokes? This motherfucker, bro, pulled out a note section on his iPhone that was just labeled Asian, and just had us shit like if it was a Rolodex, he would just, okay, Asian, fat, black, white, Latino. Like, he just had a whole fucking section, bro. And most of those Asian jokes are from Diz, bro. He was like, okay, chasing a golden retriever, holding a cleaver. Like, he just had mad shit just organized. And that was so fucking funny to me. And that's when I was like, damn, I really respect this motherfucker's just passion, bro. I really respected that shit.
That's an amazing story. I can imagine the phone call, like, straight face. I thought you'd never ask. Fucking just line it all up. Just everything.
Bro, he is the dude who, like, I'm sure whoever he's battling next has his picture on a dartboard, and he's throwing fucking darts at the picture right now, bro.
He's a very I think, like, I feel like he's the greatest of all time. Like, you know, he has his ups and downs and stuff, but if he really has a killer instinct for you, it's so dangerous, man. He's very, very, very good. Very passionate.
No, he's passionate, bro. If it wasn't like if he wasn't just like a rapper and just wanted to kill somebody, not lyrically but physically, like, he'll mastermind some way to do it. I don't know what Diz is doing right now. Shout out to Diz. I don't know if he's like figuring out this 5G tower conspiracy right now. God knows what the fuck he's doing, but I don't know.
You know, shout out to Diz, man. I love Diz. He's a great guy. He actually makes these juices on his Instagram, and it's really cool. He's like, I got this fruit from like this crazy place in the world, and all these different like stuff, and he blends them up together, and they look like really cool. I called him. I was like, bro, you should like do a show on that. They're like, you know, people will buy juice from you. You can market it this way. Be like, you want to know how I write so crazy?
These are brain juices, bro. He's an entertaining motherfucker, bro. Like, he is such an entertaining dude. Like, I always tell these cats, like, there's always ways to like pivot like what you're doing in battle rap into so many different things, man. Like, battle rap is so many different things in one, you know. And obviously it's happened with like a lot of the Wild 'N Out guys. Like they've pivoted into the Wild 'N Out stuff. And that's like so perfect for that shit. And there's so much shit, man. Like it really, you know, obviously even Kid Twist going into like co-writing Body with Joseph Kahn. You know, there's a lot of things that come out of this, and you got to explore that. And I think it's, for me too, like I feel like I wish I would have gone into other things a lot earlier too. And it is a fear because we start off in hip hop so early that this is all we kind of know. So when we're scared later on when we want to venture off into other things, because we're like, damn, like it's scary to take your foot off of the one thing that you know your whole fucking life, and it's like the one thing you know how to make money in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so scary to get your foot off that shit, bro. It really is.
Have you ever got hit up for Wild 'N Out?
I did. Here's a funny thing. So years ago, before Timothy De La Ghetto got on, me and him were the two Asian dudes that were like neck to neck for the part. Like I auditioned for it too. I don't even know if I was neck to neck for it, but I remember we hit up each other and we were like, yeah, did you audition too? We're like, yeah, we auditioned. And then in my head, I was like, there could only be one. Like, I mean, it's like most things, they're not going to usually put two Asian motherfuckers in it, which is like,
that's true.
We're trying to change that, obviously, in the industry. Like, I hate that there could only be one Asian guy in everything, but, that's going to take time, obviously. But in that particular, and I was like, I really knew I wasn't going to get the part because Tim is like perfect for that. Like Tim he was already coming from the sketches on YouTube and all that. So I was like, this is actually better for Tim. And when he got it, I was like, it made total sense, and Tim killed it. And it wasn't my thing. I've always wanted to develop things and work on things on my own. But when I look at the tone of that, I think that'll be fun. I would love to go on it. But like my projects that I'm working on don't really align with that. So,
I mean, shout out to the guys that are doing it though, man. It looks fun. It looks kind of, you know what I mean?
Nah, I mean, those motherfuckers are good at what they do. And I always tell people, because everyone's always telling me, like, how come you're not on Wild 'N Out? How come you're on Wild 'N Out? I consider myself a good freestyler and this and battler and all that. But there's a style in the way you do that. And those guys really understand how to talk to the audience that's there. And,
you if anyone, dude, if anyone could be really great. People say to me, too, oh, you'd be great. I think you, man. Like, there's a reason why you only have like 8 battles or whatever, and you're so huge is because you know how to do the crowd shit. You know how to be universal. And, in my opinion, I think that you would come up with those perfect jokes that are super like well thought out, but that everyone understands.
A little bit more mainstream, maybe. Yeah.
No, I mean, but like you said, it might not fit exactly what you're doing right now, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, but respect to that show, man. They definitely, no matter if you think it's corny or this or that, like they definitely have their mark in what they've done in the culture. You know what I'm saying? And I love that they actually showed love to a lot of the battle rappers. They really brought in the real battle rapper heads. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta show respect for sure.
Have you ever thought about how crazy we look outside of a battle event? I know you haven't done it in a while, but if you were driving by a battle event, you see everyone outside the battle, like, yeah, fucking adrenaline when I shoot. we're all
are they crumping right now? What are they doing?
Because we're like social distancing from each other so no one can hear each other's shit either. It's like, yeah, when I see you, Charlie Clips, fucking party mix, I'll eat you up and there's like 18. We look like psychopaths, bro.
Yeah, we were ahead of the times because that's what a social distance fight looks like. We're ahead of the curve, bro. Like that's what the social distancing fight is gonna look like. But no, you're right though. I feel that. It's funny. It's funny to look at what the actual culture is, right? It's like two dudes like spitting mean poetry to each other. It's like, and the thing about it, there's humor in itself, but it's like a beautiful thing, man. Like I think motherfuckers don't realize how beautiful that is. Like in a human element of like just using words, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, and how you can make somebody feel like shit using words, bro. Like it's fucking wild.
I think it's so dope that you have that outlook on it still, man. That's super, super, super dope. And it's probably because you did take a step back. You're like, man, because sometimes when I'm away from it for like, because I only battle like once or twice a year, but I'll step back for like, I miss that shit, man. Look, this is amazing. And you really don't take it for granted too. Like when you get on that stage, you're like, yo, these people are here for me, or like, most of us. Like, yeah, it is a beautiful thing.
No shit, man. The reaction is all the reactions are just very natural, man. You hear when you spit something that's good or it makes an impact on somebody watching, and you hear that reaction. The oohs and ahs is one of the most natural things you can do as a hear as a performer, and when you hear it in a roar of a unison, like it's that's nothing like it, bro. There's nothing like that.
And there's so much love too, like, you know, after you're done, you have to respect your opponent. You're like, bro, like that was crazy. Like I know what you went through, like pressure-wise, so I have to hug it out with you or give you props no matter what. Like that was insane, dude. Like, I know how your last 2 months were, same as mine. You know what I mean? Probably just like fighters, you know, afterwards they got to shake hands as they're like, man, I know what you went through preparing for this. You know what I mean? But look what we did.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, like, you know, just seeing what you've been doing the last couple of weeks with like the guests you've had, and like that shit blew my mind a little bit. I was like, God damn, bro, like Shaq and shit, like, and I gotta say, like, what is that? Is that pretty surreal, kind of just to think about, like the people who are watching your battles and shit? You know, I've had moments like that, obviously, too, when I was battling, but like really, at this point, just seeing the different people and hearing about it or finding out all of a sudden, like it must be surreal, bro.
Dude, it's so nuts to me. Like anyone, even like anyone, dude. Like I don't even know how these people know me, right? Like Spice One was one of my favorite rappers growing up. He been fucking with me forever. Trey D, Shaq, Method Man. Just the fact that these people know me is just so crazy to me. It's surreal as hell, man. Like I'm from Nova Scotia. People don't know what Nova Scotia is. They don't even know where it is. You know.
Right.
A couple weeks ago, and I hate to talk about it like I'm saying it's a joke or something, because it's not, but a guy went on a mass shooting spree, biggest one ever in Canada.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, murdered like 23 people or whatever, and like not that many people even heard about it. It's just like it's Nova Scotia, such a small like little pocket that, yeah, of course. When the fact that I can not only that they know me, but I can just DM them myself without like a manager or a publicist or whatever, and just be like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, it's so cool. It's like, man, yeah, you want to come on my IG live? They're like, hell yeah, bro. I'm like, so.
And I think that's dope of them, even at a high profile. And I think that is one thing that's the beautiful thing about the quarantine. It is kind of bringing everybody into this very similar level, and we want to give like people their flowers while we can. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's so important. You know, no matter what status you are, it's like, this shit is bringing everybody high profile, low profile, like into a very humanizing level. You know, that shit's beautiful, bro.
It's true, man. Listen, Dom, I won't keep you, man. On that last note, I do appreciate you coming on here a lot, man. You know, you're an icon in this shit, man. And if we ever do battle one day, I would be fearful for me. I would be scared because there's nothing to say about you. You know, I've been asked, like, Organic's like, yo, Dumbfoundead comes back. Would you be down?
Oh, shut the fuck up. You will find some shit to say.
Well, what do I say? Like, I'm an angle guy, right? So, I'm the same as you, dude. I pick people specifically. Like, I was like, I need to battle that transgender girl. I want to battle her. I'll take a huge pay cut. Respect to her, right? No shame her name. She's great. Awesome woman. And then I was like, I want to battle a blind guy. I want to battle, like, I specifically choose people. So for you, it's like, what do I say? Like, oh, Korea stuff, like, or what else? Like, oh, you think you're better than us going and getting fucking big? Fuck up, you know what I mean? So either way,
that's the funnest part of it, is really finding the angles is the funnest part, man, and finding the unique angles. Like, that's the only thing that's gonna set you apart. You know, I feel like in this happens in battle rap too. Like, you know, when somebody comes with a very hackish joke or like an angle. You know, and at this point, if you're battling me as an Asian rapper, you know, I feel like you got to step it up a little bit, because also Asians are starting to be in the media a lot more. So you got to find better angles than like the same, you know, stereotypes everyone's been using for like years, you know. And I always tell motherfuckers, because Asians get angry for me, like in the comments, YouTube comments, but I always tell them like, nah, dude, like if I battled an Asian dude, I'm gonna use Asian jokes, and I actually did. Like, I battled an Asian guy and used Asian jokes, and it's like
classic battle.
Yeah, if I'm not hurt, then nobody in the comments should be hurt, and I think that's always gonna be a thing that I'm always gonna push. Is like Asians, you know, with my community, I always tell us like, don't just get angry, like get just as good at roasting or clowning or battle rapping or whatever. Like, that's the only way we're gonna have these conversations, and we're gonna be able to hang. You know, it's like, fighters in the UFC or whatever. Like, if you want to have representation, have them fucking whoop some ass or whatever. Like, you know, like, we got to just step up on that shit and have that thick skin. I've always wanted to kind of push that agenda of, like, having the thick skin and, you know, and I think battle rap, man, that's a beautiful thing. It really does bring cultures together in a weird fucking way. You know, it really does.
Yeah, you got to own your shit, man. You know, as a white guy, you always get you're a racist or like you're a hick or whatever. Like most white, that's the angle. You know what I mean? And guess what? I got called, oh, Pat, you know, whatever, all that shit, and then they landed me a rolling body. I was the white racist.
There's nothing more amazing than, like, when you battle somebody and you just start painting this image of them that they're completely not, but you try to get everyone to believe that that's you. That is the most frustrating thing. If somebody comes at me and says all this shit and get everybody believing that I'm that dude, I'm like, I'm not that dude. It's like the most frustrating shit.
Dude, I battled Averb, and he has, like, mad kids, and I heard from someone that, like, and I never do this in battles. I never take people's, you know, whatever. I usually just ignore them, but this time I did. I heard that he didn't take care of any of his kids. They all, whatever. I think he had 6 or 7. And then afterwards, we went and drank together, and he's the coolest guy ever. And he's like, no, all my kids live in my house, like, with my girl. Like, we're like a happy family. It's like, oh, like, I'm such an asshole. This guy's like an honorable father, takes care of all his kids. I'm just like, why don't you take care of your kids, pal? He's just like, what the fuck?
It'll just be hilarious if it was like an actual like a political debate and there was like a panel like CNN that does fact checking during your battle. Like, no, he actually.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
yeah.
Much love, man. Yo, I'm gonna tune into this series now. I feel like you got a whole series going on, and I'm gonna have to tune into this shit. I don't know who's gonna come on this shit next. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus, actually, Jesus Christ is coming next.
Is he Korean? Is it Korean Jesus?
It's Korean Jesus. Yeah, he's on next. I'll let you go. Thank you so much. I'm gonna press the X first because if you do, sometimes it cancels the whole shit. So I just want to say thank you again, man. It's great to talk to you, and I hope to talk to you again soon, man. Good luck.
Love, Pat. Let's link soon, man. Let's link soon.
100%, brother. Peace, man.
Bro.